What's going on, guys? It's your boy Trev the King here, and today we are here for week 3 of the NPL. And before we start, I would like to say something. My good buddy Stab, who is the usual coach of the Chicago Sacred Fire, has not been heard from in some time. I believe he's moving to China right now, and because he's gonna teach football over there. And yeah, so until he comes back, my good buddy Slick Rick Nixon will be taking over his team, and that makes it kind of scarier because he's pretty good in the format. So you know, this will probably be a tougher battle than Stab was. Not to insult Stab's playing skills, but I think Mr. Rick Nixon here is a better player. But yeah, if you want to know what I brought, I will post the team building / team analysis video I did yesterday in the description below, so go check that out if you have not already. Just know what I'm bringing. But he has brought Garchomp, Tentacruel, Meanshao, regular Metagross, Galvantula, and Drapion. A pretty interesting squad. I'm happy not to see Surf. I'm happy not to see Make a Heracross. Although I did have answers / checks to those. Like, it's good. Those were really threatening things to my team. I'm also kind of glad to see no Heatran, which means while Focus Blast is a bit useless on Heliolisk, I mean, that means I don't have to risk missing a Focus Blast. So yeah, so why don't we get right into the battle? Alright, so I'm going to lead off with my Kyurem Black as he leads off with Galvantula. This is fine. I know he can't 2-hit KO me with Bug Buzz unless he's like Choice Specs, and Volt Switch or Thunder is not going to do anything. So he just gets up his Sticky Web, which I thought he could possibly bring. Even with the change of coach, I still thought Mr. Nixon here could bring Sticky Web as it was good against my team. He's just going to Volt Switch into the Drapion, and this is a physically defensive Drapion, and it still takes over half. And then he goes into Metagross, and that takes 38%. So freaking Bandit Kyurem Black is putting in a ton of work. So I'm just going to go into my Doublade predicting like a Meteor Mash of some sort, and he does. And unfortunately he does get the attack rage, which is a bit unfortunate. Like I said, unfortunate. But I don't think he can over predict here, so he's just going to go for the Earthquake as I predict that. I kind of thought I would get the Intimidate, but I forgot about Clear Body. But that's okay, because I'm Choice Scarf, and I do outspeed. Not that I don't outspeed anyway, but like, but you know. Yeah. So instead of going for Rocks, I go for Earthquake, because I didn't want to take the risk he had Ice Punch and he would stay in. Or possibly he was an Agility Gross. So he's just gonna, I'm gonna go into my Sylveon as he goes for his Rocks. And I'm going to predict his switch into Tentacruel and go for the Baton Pass. This was the reason I brought Baton Pass. Not only to pass wishes guaranteed into Mons, but to also get momentum if I predict switch. So I'm going to go right into my Blastoise because I can get this free spin off, as he does turn out to be, have Giga Drain on his Tentacruel. Just from the damage, I'm assuming that he's like offensive Assault Vest because I don't see any recovery. And usually, you know, and then usually Giga Drain doesn't do nearly that much if it's defensive. So, and just from the damage I see there, that did a lot. As he goes for the Giga Drain, and here I could predict the pretty obvious Garchomp, but I just go for the T-Ball anyway. Although he could have actually lived the T-Ball, so he's going to scout for the HP Ice today, going right back into Tentacruel. I actually don't really agree with these plays. I mean, I don't agree with him letting Tentacruel take more damage, because now it's in Thunderbolt range before it was not in Thunderbolt range. I'm just going to be, even without my Life Orb, I'm able to kill. I don't know if that could have, I don't think it did. Helios is pretty strong. If it did, I'm sorry, but I don't think it mattered. He didn't complain, so I'm assuming it probably didn't matter. So I'm going to go into my Landers T predicting a fighting type move, but he makes an excellent prediction and goes right for the HP Ice, and I'm going to predict another HP Ice and go to the Blastoise as he makes a nice double into Galvantula. So right now, mid-game, he's playing, he's predicting me pretty well as I go into my Choice Scarf Landers, predicting him not to go for Sticky Red, but to instead go for Thunder. And I do go into my Land of Tea and am able to kill it with the U-turn, as then he comes into his Mean Chow, and I'm afraid of, as I go into my Heliolisk, and then he obviously outspeeds me, so I go into my Blastoise, and he switches into his Drapion, and there's a bunch of switching going on around. I'm going to switch into my Sylveon because I can take one of any hit from this thing because it's physically defensive and kill it with a Hyper Voice. And now he's just going to go to his Metagross, which is a little scary, as I'm just going to sack off my Blastoise here. And it gets really scary when he has Agility. However, luckily I did preserve my Doublade's health, and I'm just going to die to the Earthquake. I thought I could take 2 of these Earthquakes, however, I can't because he turns out to be Expert Belt. And I go for the Sword Stance. And right here, okay, I'm going to pause right here because he actually said that he was thinking about putting the Ghost Resist Berry. However, and that might have changed the game. However, here's the thing. If he wasn't Expert Belt, I could live 2 Earthquakes instead of just 1 Earthquake, as the Expert Belt increases super effective attack damage, and could have gotten up to plus 4 times 3 attack, and been able to just sweep with Shadow Sneak from there. So it really didn't make a difference. But yeah, so I'm just gonna kill the Metagross with the Shadow Sneak. Next, I know I can live any hit. He goes for a high jump kick because he thought I might go for Shadow Sneak trying for the kill, and he would kill himself to, missing, and then I wouldn't get a kill. But however, with the new rules in the NPL, if you die to Life Orb recoil, or damage recoil, or you miss a high jump kick recoil, and you die to that, the opponent will still get a kill for that. So yeah, he basically did that for nothing. He didn't have anything that could touch Doublade anyway, and I could live because Metagross is stronger than Mean Chow a lot. Maybe not a lot, but it's pretty strong. It's definitely stronger than Mean Chow. And it had an Expert Belt, and Earthquake's a stronger move than Knockoff. So even if he carried Knockoff, I knew I could live just based on the damage from the Metagross. And so, as you saw, I just killed the Mean Chow with the Aerial Ace, and then I Shadow Sneaked the Tentacruel, as that would easily kill as if it was offensive. And yeah, that was the game. So that was you see the score and you see a 5-0. However, he played very well. Mr. Nixon played very well. As well as if he had killed my Doublade, or if my Doublade had been in range for Earthquake instead of being able to take one if it had been at like 40% and died to Earthquake, I would have gotten swept unless he missed an attack. So yeah, I'm really glad Doublade was able to kill with the Shadow Sneak. But yeah, so that moves us to 2-1 on the season at +6 differential, which gives us a pretty big lead. This was the first game that Chicago Sacred Fire was played because Stab wasn't here the first 2 weeks, so who knows how big or small our division lead could get after he plays those first 2 games for Stab. So yeah, so I want to thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please hit up that like button. If you want to see more, hit up that subscribe button. Next week we play the undefeated Dallas and the San Antonio Swampert. So he's a really good player, and his team may not look as threatening as some of the other teams, but it's still a very threatening team. On paper it doesn't look threatening, but the way he uses it, it's very threatening. So yeah, I will see you guys later. Peace.